speak to people about what is in our manifesto, because the manifesto is a heavy document. Yeah. How many Ghanaians will have the time to go and read? In fact, in 2020, we had the 24-hour economy in the manifesto. I knew about it some way, somehow.
Yeah.
But I was not very conscious about it. It was not top of mind. So if at my level, it was not top of mind, then how about the ordinary Ghanaian? So we don't want to make that same mistake. So this time around, we want to go out there and let people know what is in the manifesto. And the more you engage the various stakeholders and you get to you tell them what is in the manifesto, the more they are convinced that they indeed need to vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to come back and reset this country.
Is the message getting to the people?
It is getting to the people, because we are speaking to various publics, so depending on, for example, when I go to the regions, I speak to local media.
Okay.
When I'm in Ashanti region, I speak, my father is from Ashanti region, so I speak to them in the language they understand. My mother is partly from Volta region, so I speak to them in pure Ewe. When I go to Akan, I speak to them in Akan. So, and I'm here and I'm speaking English. If you allow me, I'll speak Tree, Ga, Ewe, and whatever.
You speak them all.
I see. I mean, I'll be leaving you guys pretty shortly, but a few weeks ago, you had an interview with Adom TV or so, where you had indicated, or you had downplayed the chances of the NPP in this coming election. But we have all seen Professor Smart Sapong's research that tips that the NPP is likely to win the polls. What's your response to that?
I don't respond to polls that I don't have data on. I'm a former university lecturer. Okay? I used to lecture at UPSC.
Okay.
So what you don't do with a poll is when you don't have the details. What are the variables? What is the sample size? Then you can have a more informed discussion about polls. Again,
I think the sample size is about 99,000. Not too
but
sure.
I will not sit here and you tell me sample size. I haven't seen it. I haven't read it.
Okay.
You don't do that in academia. So I should see the poll, do the analysis, compare it to other polls. In any case, who is Professor
Smart
Sapong? What is his credibility when it comes to polling in this country? There are people who have been doing this global info, and also
you trust global info analytics.
When I land, you see where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So you have Fitch, Standard and Poor. You have The Economist. These are credible, international, neutral entities that have been doing polls consistently over the years, and they always get it right. And all of them consistently have indicated that this election is for
the green corner.
Yes.
Right.
However, having said that, polls don't vote. Okay? It's just the same. Well, let me chip in this. As the same thing with prophecies. I've had people say, they have prophesied that you are going to win. So, it's a hey job. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. Even the Bible.
No,
there's a principle. Right. Let me choose my words. Don't choose my words.
I'm sorry.
So, for example, when you go to the Bible, 1 Timothy, it talks about prophecy. Okay, 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 18. He says, "This charge I commit to you, son Timothy, according to the prophecies previously made concerning you, that by them you may wage the good warfare." This is Bible. Prophecy supposed to come from God. Timothy was given prophecies. This and that is going to happen to you. This and that is going to be your future. But you must wage the good warfare.
Right.
Again, I give another example, and I was talking to the boys when we were coming. The people of Israel, God gave them the promised land. They sent 12 spies to go and spy the land. 10 of them went and they said, hey, the land is full of giants. We cannot. We are like grasshoppers in the eyes.
Yes,
2 of them said, we are well able to take the land. And they were able to take the land. The 10 other tribes, they perished. So there are principles that you should follow.
Okay.
16 days to an election, whether it's prophecy, whether it's a poll, you need to work hard. You need to put the systems in place.
That's the bottom line.
You need to be vigilant. You need to be alert. You need to move the people. The people doing the poll may be willing to vote for you. But if you don't get maximum turnout, it may be a different story. So I am not, you see, we want to win this election and win it authoritatively and decisively once and for all. We beat the hell out of them. So you don't want to take any chances by becoming swollen-headed and, we've won already. Where we need work. Let's go out there and work so that we can make that victory assurance double sure.
Okay.
Now, it's interesting you talk about that, because people have now said that because you're not too certain about winning, that's the NDC. That's why you're making allegations of the MPP seeking to rig the elections and using one brigadier general to actually make that happen.
So it's good you're asking me this question, because by the grace of God, I've I've been Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations. I've played central roles in all our elections from 2000.
Right.
So there are certain things that I know. This Brigadier General was on our radar in 2020.
Okay.
Okay? There are many things that he was doing. If you recall, there was a day where ballot papers had been printed and dispatched to the Ashanti region in Inolink Printing House. This brigadier was always hovering around there. If you recall, there was a time that we had to get our people to swear oaths. The video leaked. People didn't understand
we saw the video.
Because there was intel that they were going to bribe our agents at the printing houses. Once they're able to bribe your agents, they can do whatever they want. They will print extra ballot. And lo and behold, in that particular printing house, after all the materials had been dispatched, we came back to fix one constituency, and what did we find? 1 million extra ballot papers for Ashanti region. And we raised the alarm, brought the media in, and the police and national security escorted us, and we bent them. If you have this experience and you are going for another election, will you go and sleep? Number one. Number two, were we not here when Ayawaso West Wagon happened? Was there not a commission of inquiry?
Yeah.
Were people not shot, killed, and maimed?
White paper was even
White
issued.
paper was issued. Did they not mention his name, that he was the one? Did he not sit in public and say he was responsible? Was he not supposed to be sanctioned? So if the same person is now promoted and given a division or whatever it is to command, and there's an election coming, and they don't know that whatever they do, we are watching. In the army, it's not everybody who is happy with what is going on. So we have intelligence, solid, credible intelligence. So if we come out to speak, we know what we are talking about. Then come 2020, what happened? Were 8 people not shot and killed and murdered? So how can any rational, intelligent person tell you that we are going into another election, we're seeing some of these movements, and we are drawing the attention of the public, and we are telling the IGP, these are the things that happened in the past, and these are the things that we know. There are things we cannot say in public, okay? And so watch this guy and watch the things that he's doing, and then people say, what? Because we are scared. That's completely preposterous and ridiculous for anybody to say that. Unless they don't know that there's a history. There is a history. In the history of this Fourth Republic, even under Rawlings, who was a soldier, it's only under MPP Nanando that 8 people were murdered in cold blood, and not even one person has been found culpable. What are they talking about?
So it's not because you are scared of losing, because the MPP has also come out to say that what you are accusing them of is exactly what you are also doing. You are also training thugs.
So bring the evidence. We have given you the historical antecedents. Okay, we've given you the track record, and the investigation by the commission was not done by us. These are matters of public record. You have a certain track record. You are the ones who are under pressure. You are the one who all the polls consistently keep saying that you are losing the elections. You are the ones who are under pressure. So between us and you, in any case, between a government in power and an opposition, who have access to arms? You see, we went to the same schools with them. They shouldn't make it look like they went to different schools and studied other. Some of them, when people were getting first class and second upper, they were getting third class. They shouldn't come and be talking as if we are all daft. We are not daft. We know what we are talking about. We are intelligent people. Look, on the 14th of November, 8 people that were sent to South Africa to be trained in insurgency and all other things, they arrived on South African Airways. 8 guys. They were picked at the airport on the tarmac. We know them. So we know what we are talking about. But let me just send a note of caution. If you are a returning officer, you're a presiding officer, you're a policeman, you're a soldier, immigration, whatever it is, you are sent on your duties. Go and do your work diligently. We don't have any problem with anybody. See, the country is in a mess already, okay? Who wants to come and take over a country which is war torn? Nobody wants that. We want peace. That's why those days, no matter what they do, we just, it's okay, let's have peace. But we are no longer going to become victims of peace. We have a responsibility to protect our democracy.
What do you mean? What do you mean by you're not going to be victims of peace?
I'm not. I'm talking. You're in a hurry. Let me finish. I'll say it. Okay. There is a reason why our national anthem says, "And help us to resist the oppressor's rule with all our strength and with all our might." We have told all our people that don't go to any police station to go and die. Whatever it is that you can do to protect your life, do it. Don't go to any polling station to go and die any foolish death. Whatever you can do within the limits of the law to protect yourself and ensure that the things that happened in the past do not happen, do it. Don't go and allow anybody to bully you, intimidate you, or kill you. You have every right to defend the Constitution. In a democracy, it is through elections that we effect changes of government. So anybody who tries to thwart that effort is actually acting unconstitutionally. It's treason. So you have every right to use whatever legal means possible. For example, you live in a community. Armed robbers have been coming there always. You report to police, nothing happens. What do? Won't you form a vigilante group? Do you form a vigilante group because you are a murderer? You form a vigilante group because you want to protect your life and property. So when the system is not working, and I hope that this time the system will fail, because you see, the IGP, he's my very, very good personal friend, but I have a problem with him.
What problem
The
do you have with the
problem
IGP?
I have with him is that when the 8 people were murdered in 2020, we wrote to him asking him after the first year to give us an update on the investigation. They came out with a report that, the investigations are ongoing. Since then, up to today, they haven't even arrested a dog or a fly. So if we are going into another election, do you expect that we should just sit down and be singing hallelujah so that they'll go and murder 20 people? We have a responsibility to keep drumming it home.
Okay.
When you shine light in darkness, darkness will flee. That's what we are doing.
But the
We are not
IGP
afraid.
says that the police service is ready
Good.
for this election. And he has assured you,
so
as
we'll
parties.
give him the benefit of the doubt, at least to be fair to him, in Assin North. And let me tell you something. I'm speaking as the former General Secretary in charge of operations. These shenanigans did not start today. In 2008, they recruited people from neighboring countries, put police uniform on them without name tags and numbers, and they were contained. They should go and ask their seniors how the people were contained. We don't want to get there. Okay, they were contained. Look, there are things that have happened in this country that we cannot even talk about. So in Assin North, well, they brought all those guys, but thank God they tried to do their best. We also put in systems to stop them. So 2024 will be a test of whether when he's saying he's ready, he will do it, he will really do it. Because at the end of the day, we saw in Ayawaso West, we saw in Techima North, Techima South, that sometimes these things happen outside the command and control of the regular forces, of the IGP and the military commander. So if he's assuring us, we also want to see what he will do on the day. But let every Ghanaian know that what happened in 2020, and Ayawaso West, we are not going to allow it to happen again.
And I'm sure you've heard Colonel Kujo from Achansi Welfare.
And what did he say? He said people should...
He says that when you vote, go home. If you stay and the police calls the military in, he will come and beat you.
It's complete foolishness. Hello? That statement he made is complete foolishness and irresponsibility. Whoever it is. Colonels are supposed to be educated, literate people. A colonel should not open his mouth and talk by heart like a foot soldier. The elections are governed by laws. Who is in charge of election security? Is it not police? Which law states that when you vote you should go home and sleep? Which law? We are a law-abiding country. We act by law. There is no law anywhere. This is not the first time we've had elections in this country. Since 1992, if you have the strength and the capacity, when you finish voting, you can stay there. There is no law that stops you. So Ghanaians, listen, the fact that he even did that video and they actually pushed it to make it go viral should give you a signal that they want to deliberately intimidate us. Look, don't forget about those things. Baby, I dream is true too. It's a joke, man. People should stay there. If you can't go and eat banku, go and eat fufu, yato wache alokon konoyo, come back there. We will stay there as long as you are not interfering with the electoral process. So that colonel, if he's not educated, let me educate him. The law says don't interfere with the process. So within the perimeter of the voting, you are not supposed to go there. But you have every right to stay there around the perimeter and observe what is going on. What is he talking about, Colonel Bain? He's disgracing the Ghana Armed Forces. Colonel should not behave like this. This should be said by recruits. Then a colonel will come and correct him. Not a colonel sitting there disgracing the uniform. He should watch himself. And he'll come and beat who. And when people, is it beating?
Yeah, because he says he doesn't.
It's very backward.
He won't vote.
Very backward, questioning. Questioning. He's a very backward person. So, somebody should tell him.
Right. So talk to me.
And we are not afraid of them. Please. We are children of the revolution. So you should stop that, thing. No, we won't go anywhere. We will stay there and watch what is going on. If they like, I was just listening to a station. The women in Ashanti region say they don't have guns. They will prepare a 3-day urine, and they will spray it on them. When they pour that urine on you, your life will never be the same again. You and your generations, that will be the end of you. No.
Anyways.
Enough of this nonsense.
Right. So talk to me. How prepared is the NDC for the election? Because what? We have less than 16 days. In fact, 16 days and a few hours to go. How prepared is the NDC? And you are smiling.
We are very prepared. You see, that can actually, you won't be like, bull or something. When you get up, then they are talking by hearts. You know, what the hell do you mean? We are in a constitutional era. You can. Such kind of conduct should not be countenanced at all. You don't. It is the IGP who he met the media when he met you. Did he say anything about going to beat up people?
No.
In this time, and then upon all this, then they say we should come and sign a bloody peace pact.
So you will sign the peace pact?
We've given them our conditions. We are for peace. We have constantly, even when our people were being beaten, we said we want peace, but we will no longer be victims of peace. If they want us to sign, let those people, not that Colonel, whatever they call him, let the military sign, let the police sign, let the electoral commissioner sign, let all the stakeholders sign. Then we can look at it and decide whether we will sign. At this signing, you go and sign, and at the end of the day, they are beating you, they are maiming you, and say, doesn't make any sense. All these ceremonies, you know, the great Otumfo will come and sit there in his presence, will sign, and yet they will pass back and go and beat and maim and kill people. Does it make sense? No, enough. So we are ready. We are prepared. We are very prepared.
Well, I mean, we've seen polls. You say yes, polls make it doesn't end it there.
Yes.
I mean, there is work to be done. Yeah. But also, Codeo says from its observations, the MPP, NDC, incidents of vote buying. Are you buying votes? If you are confident of winning, why are you buying votes?
Codeo, you know, you see, there are things that I don't want to say. You see, when people want to hide their political affiliation, the trick is they make it look like, oh, all the parties are the same. If you hear anybody in this country under this mess, where they have moved the dollar from the man who said, when the fundamentals of the economy are weak, the exchange rate will expose you, and he says that NDC and MPP are the same, that person needs his head examined. So that trick is a trick. Oh, NDC and MPP are the same. How can we be the same?
They say you are doing the same things.
How can we be the same?
You are all buying
So I'm
votes.
giving you context before I come to dealing with this. We are in opposition. We've been in opposition for 8 years. So what vote have we bought? They should tell us. Kodo, whose mother or father? The guys will say mother, father. Whose mother or father have we gone to buy his vote? They should tell us. They can't make blank statements like that. They know the people buying the votes. But because of whatever relations and connections and tribalism and all that, so they will not be bold enough to come out and say, look, the government of the day is buying votes. Do we have enough money to go and be buying votes? So they should tell us, which vote did we buy? Where? How? You can't just make those blanket statements. We are looking for money to do things. Say, we are buying votes. How can we be buying votes? It is the incumbent that is buying vote, sharing money, T-shirts with 20 cities in it, T-shirts in 50. Haven't you seen those videos? When people wear the T-shirt and they'll come out and say, have you not seen them? Have we not seen in their primaries where they've piled money on tables and sharing? Have we not seen them? Are they NDC people? So how can anybody in his right senses say that the NDC is buying votes without providing any evidence? They should stop that. If they are not ready to criticize the NPP, they should shut up.
But they're just observing, and they say that's what they have seen.
If you say you are observing, you are making a very serious allegation. NDC and NPP are buying votes.
In the Ashanti region.
Give you instances, to give you examples, case studies, and it's replete all over social media. You say NDC too is buying votes. First of all, we are in opposition after 8 years. Where are we getting the money from? 2, which mother, father, brother, sister have we bought their vote?
But you're still campaigning,
so it's
aren't
completely
you?
preposterous. Campaigning is the same as buying votes?
No, I'm saying you're asking, you don't have money, but you're campaigning. Campaigning is also money intensive.
No, so are you saying that because we are campaigning, so we are buying votes?
I'm asking.
No, I need clarity because you look like a very reasonable man. So I'm worried.
I am very reasonable, actually.
Yes.
You say you don't have money. I'm saying,
yes.
but you have money to campaign.
Of course.
Yes.
Having money to campaign is not the same as having money to buy votes. It's not. The two are not the same at all. Even Taflache, what are some of the parties crap? CPP or what all those people crap.
Okay, party segment.
Even they are campaigning.
Right.
How much more a party like NDC? So we'll campaign. But there's a world of difference between campaigning and buying votes.
Right.
So you see, these kinds of statements, they are meant to muddy the waters and obfuscate the issues. So when they want to, something is going on and it involves the ruling party or the MPP, and they want to say it, but they are afraid either because of their own connections or relations or something they are getting behind the scene, then they will intentionally make it look like, oh, the NDC and MPP are the same. No sane, rational person. Look, you have a government that before they came to power, listen to their promises. Is here. I shall protect the public person. I am too old to steal your money. I already have my own money. Yet try me and see. I am not corrupt and I'll never be corrupt. The man who said he would never be corrupt, his own special prosecutor called him the mother serpent of corruption. Mother serpent of corruption. Corrupt onufundi enche. Premier kesi nankasa. Daga. Hello. I can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is here. I'll transform Ghana in 18 months. I will not operate a family and friends government. There are 53 people in the government who are related directly to Akufo-Addo. We have the family tree. I will fight corruption with Anna's principle. Anna said, I'll make the Kole Lagoon and the Odo River a tourist site. I'll build a factory in every district. I'll give every constituency $1 million every year. I will arrest the dollar. This is Bawumia, one of the fundamentals of the economy, the exchange rate law. So Bawumia's political identity in law, they will solve the groom norm, his raison d'etre for being in politics is the dollar. That's what he says. If you want to, you can say everything. Once the dollar exposes you, you are failed.
Right.
So Bawumia is a complete failure. So how can anybody say we are the same?
Right.
The hike in fuel price will be a thing of the past. I'll build 111 district hospitals in 18 months. We will never go to the IMF for bailout. Then he said we'll build a harbor in Cape Coast. We'll build an airport in Cape Coast. And this character is still promising, and you are believing him? Why believe you? What is wrong with us? You believe this man at your own peril. He just lies. He just says anything. The last time he was still there, they are going to create 760,000 jobs on the goodness. The man has lied and lied and lied.
Right. So
took this economy was B-, judged by international rating agencies, not by NDC, Fitch, Standard & Poor's, World Bank, IMF, B-. That is stable. Today, the economy is junk. Our debt to GDP ratio from 55% to over 104%. The total cumulative debt, 126 billion, out of which John Mahama borrowed 54 billion, with things to show. Today, the debt is 767 billion.
So what difference will the Mahama administration do?
Thank you.
I've entered your head. Thank you for me. What difference will John Mahama do if the people of Ghana decide to give him the nod come December 7th?
Thank you very much. So first of all, we're going to put in place the leanest government. And in 120 days, we're going to put in place a very lean government of 60 ministers. Within that short period, we're going to ensure that every appointee declares his assets. Within that short period, we're going to ensure that we put in place a code of conduct and a code of ethics. No appointee will be involved in mining, legal or illegal.
Yeah.
No appointee will be involved in government contracts. No appointee will be involved in any form of business that shows conflict of interest. When you do that, you create an environment where there is no corruption, okay? And after we've done all these things, then we move into our policies. The number one is a 24-hour economy, which some people don't understand genuinely. Some people too, they understand, but they have refused to understand. So whichever way it is, let me just break it down for everybody. And I like using analogies.
Right.
So when you go to a place like Bojuase, they grow a lot of cassava, right? And my friend Sape Banchihene, greetings to you. So they do the cassava. Somebody establishes a factory. The factory produces gari. The person is doing 9 to 5. He employs 100 people. He produces 1,000 bags of gari a month, 1,000 drums of ethanol a month. He says, I'm interested in your 24-hour economy. They'll come to the secretariat, register, we take their details. The first thing we'll do is to send a team. Go and install what we call a time of use meter.
Okay.
The time of use meter will now bill you in the night when you're doing your 24, the night shift. So if, for example, you pay 50 cedis during regular hours, the time of use will make you pay 10 cedis, meaning that we have reduced your cost of production by 80%. And was it just here? Every industrialist, manufacturer will tell you that energy cost of electricity is one of the biggest challenges.
Right.
So once you do that, you have created an incentive for them to want to expand.
Okay.
Again, he says, look, I want to expand, so I need to bring in more equipment. We'll say, go to Exim. We've established the Exim Bank or other financial institutions, and we'll give you a credit at very low interest rates or even a grant. You are bringing your equipment in. We say either you clear them, you don't pay, or you pay a very flat rate. So these are incentives that will be given to the manufacturing and industrial sector.
Right.
Then they say, okay, the road to the factory is not good. And we say, assembly, go and clear the road, fix the road. Then we say there are no lights because people will be working in the night. So we have a Light Up Ghana project. It's in our manifesto.
Okay.
So we light up that whole perimeter from the sources where people will come from
to the
factory. So we light up. So with all these incentives, what does he do? He now does 3 shifts. So the 100 employees will now become what? 300. His production of 1,000 bags of Gary will turn to 3,000. The 1,000 drums of ethanol will turn to 3,000. When he's done all that, then government now uses its purchasing power. School feeding, buffer stock, buy the Gary.
Okay.
Ethanol. The president says he's going to chair an accelerated export development council. He himself will chair. And will use such opportunities like the AFTA and create opportunities, business openings. The aftermarket is about $1 trillion. So all those other products will now go to various African countries and even Europe so that we can earn foreign exchange. So you have created more jobs.
Right.
People are paying taxes. You are also exporting. You are earning foreign exchange. So you are reducing the pressure on the dollar. So when people ask us, how are we going to stabilize the dollar? This is it.
Okay.
So I'm just using, you look at this one.
This is one analogy.
So imagine this all over. Number 2.
Briefly, because we have really exhausted our time and people are crying because they love the interview. So they want to have you again.
Okay, so you have to give me 2 hours. Women's banking, you know the women, the role they play.
Yes,
so we want to create a bank for them to support them in SMEs. Digital jobs. The world is changing and we are in an era of digitalization. And digitalization starts with creating the digital infrastructure.
Okay.
It was John Mahama who built the digital infrastructure. 1,000-kilometer fiber optics from Accra to Boku and a 300-kilometer radius fiber optics.
Right.
So that is the basis for digitalization.
Okay.
So if Opana is saying digitalization, what foundation is it on?
Okay.
Then we talk about the agri sector.
Well, we'll have to go. We'll have to run. I know you have so much to... But people are also... Because you have also been a sports minister, Black Stars, 30 seconds.
I'm a problem. You know, there are structural problems,
Right.
there are player attitudes. You know, people, when that incident happened in Brazil, people have not brought their mind to think of what was really the problem. You know, if I want to sum it up, the problem was that the players insisted that the money government said they would give them was not enough, and the government gave them 82,500. They said they wanted $100,000. Then afterwards, when government caved in to them and said, "Okay, you get 100,000," they insisted on getting the money in physical cash. That is the problem.
So was the players.
And then after that, they insisted. They said they will not train until they see the fiscal money. But that issue was never exercised out of the consciousness of the playing body or even the FA, the team. It was ours, the main focus. Everybody was talking, all kinds of lies. I bought coconuts for $100. Yesterday I had a new one. They said I bought a kinky for $37. All rubbish. All right. Complete falsehood. So that culture, that attitude where when a player is called to the Black Stars, he recognizes that it's a privilege and an honor and that I'll be ready to play for free. That has not been properly exercised. But the unfortunate thing is that most of these current players, they are innocent. Most, or in fact, all of them. Even Jordan, who was part of that, he was not part of those shenanigans. It was a few players. Later, I found that some of them were politicians. But hey, so it's a new team. So first of all, Ghanaians need to forgive them. Okay. It may sound very, very simple, but I know what I'm talking about. I have forgiven them long since and moved on. We need to forgive. You see, the coach said something. He said there was so much hatred of the players and him. And I went to watch the video when the guy?
We have to go.
The guy was playing the penalty.
Kudus.
Did you hear? Away by Ghanaians. We need to exercise that out. And then, of course, the FA, evidently there's a problem there.
There's a problem.
You know, and the coach too. I mean, if you've lost confidence in yourself, why should you still be there? But that's the decision for those
That's
who
the
played
decision for those who came in. Elvis Afriyie, Ankrah, thank you so much for your time. And in fact, we'll definitely have a part 2 on Monday. Okay, so we'll drag him here on Monday, and now we'll start at 5. We'll start at 5 and close at 6:30. Thank you so much for coming. This is Starr today on Starr 103.5 FM. I am Joshua Kutup Mensah. Do have a lovely evening.